Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast. My name is Adam Cohn. I am your host. The CSGO Clutch Podcast is sponsored by Prize Picks. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Dan Welch. Dan, what's happening, buddy?
Hey Adam, I'm a little sleepy. I just woke up from a nap, but excited for tomorrow's IEM event.
I am looking forward to it as well. So, folks, we did tell you we'd be back for the DreamHack event. We heard you. You wanted the CSGO Clutch Podcast to cover the 4-game IEM Summer Qualifier on Draftkings. We heard you. We heard the outcries of support. You want the breakdown. Dan and I are here to give you the breakdown. If I sound a little tired, I apologize. I am a little tired. But it's okay. We're here. We got you back. We're going to help break this slate down the best we can. Yeah, we're going to help break down the slate the best that we can. And, Dan, I'm currently at a loss for words. We got a 4-game slate.
I know, it's like Christmas morning.
I can't remember the last time we've had a 4-game slate. I don't think we've had a 4-game slate this year for Tier 1. Have we?
I was just thinking. I'm not sure. It was like 3 games for all the.
All the blasts were like 3 games. Pro League was 3 games.
When was Katowice?
Katowice was February.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't. There was no 4 gamers, I don't think, for that.
Not that I can remember. Anyway, we're here to help you all break down the slate. We're here to help you all the best that Dan and I can. And Dan, we're going to start this off. There is no recap review because of the showdown slate. We're going to get right into the 4-game breakdown here. So before we do, hit that like button, leave a comment down below on this video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell next to it. That way that you all are notified every single time one of these podcasts drop. We know Counter-Strike is a little bit of a time-sensitive sport, if you will, just because content that has to come out is usually coming out at night, and Dan and I are trying to get these out as soon as possible for all of you. Now, Dan, with that being said, part of me is still tilted from FunSpark.
I can't blame you on that one, Adam. Should probably be more pissed because I lost like everything that I had earned.
Well, have you seen the Fairly Odd Parents meme where, or whoever it was Jimmy Neutron or whatever, where it's just like 2 men holding shovels and putting money into, a furnace or whatever cartoon that came from? That's what FunSpark felt like. Thank you, Tier 1 teams.
It sure did.
You're supposed to take these Tier teams here beneath your boots. You're supposed to stop them. Rude. I'm kidding. This event is very different. Dan, here's the difference between FunSpark and this IEM qualifier. It's a qualifier. I would not expect any of these Tier 1 teams going up against the Tier 2 opposition that they face to try out realistically any crazy new strategies, any maps that they've been working on. Big on train. I wouldn't expect them to debut that here. Alright, they are working their butts off to try and qualify for a spot in the IEM Summer 2021 event. I'm actually going to go, I have over here on my other screen, folks, trying to bring that up. So the IEM Summer 2021 event is for a $250,000 prize pool. And if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong on this, but I think first place gets $100,000. But I believe they also probably get a spot in the IEM Global Challenge. Alright, so the IEM Global Challenge, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, is a $1 million tournament. I don't even think it's on the calendar. I'm like scrolling, and I see IEM Winter. If I had to guess, it's probably for one of it. Anyway, Dan, talk to us a little bit about these teams while I pull up that other event.
I mean, we got four great matchups for tomorrow. Movie Star.
You got this.
Movie Star Riders and Ends, Trident, OG, Skate, and FPX, Mouse Sports, and K23.
We need to get you some coffee.
You told me to talk. I'm doing my best here, Adam.
Well, hurry up. What are we waiting for? Aren't you done yet? I'm kidding.
I'm done.
Go.
I'm done. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead and talk to us about these teams because you know more about some of these tier two teams than I do.
Um, but I struggle without your guidance, Adam. I'm like, I'm not sure what to
I'm here.
where to
I
go.
got your back. Don't worry about it.
All right, movie star writers and ents. I love Ents. Just this is and Mr. Alu has always paid off for me, except for when he doesn't. And movie star writers because they've kind of come back from the dead with Smoothie on their team, and they also got rid of some people. And I don't know if you know, but the one of the what was that team that beat Vitality? That was crazy. Uh,
Oh, 9Z.
guy and Z, they had an ex We Star Writers stand-in e-store during that upset. Trident
Yes,
haven't
yes, they did.
Trident haven't seen much of Trident. OG, we all know OG, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a nugget, and that's that. Um, what's his name? The new one, Flames, is going to be playing from home and has a bad ping, and was asking for advice on Twitter. So um, take that with a grain of salt. And potentially, Flames has not played any of the maps that with OG yet that are most likely in the pool. Skade FPX. I'm an FPX fan, but I got to go with Skade tomorrow. Mouse Sports. I mean, they should crush. Unless
Oh,
K23 has
you and
been.
I are gonna talk about that.
Yeah, there's some very straightforward stuff tomorrow. Like even, I mean, hopefully, I mean, obviously we're gonna be wrong about something because we were wrong about many
Don't,
things in Counter
don't,
Strike.
don't even bring up FunSpark.
I think that I'm gonna, but okay. So we did frame FunSpark as kind of maybe a loosey goosey tournament, and I don't know that we took that
Oh,
seriously.
it was loosey goosey.
So I think we gotta keep the attitude that this is going to be a serious tournament, and that everyone is well prepared
I would agree
because
with
of the
that.
money that's involved. So
And
how'd
let
I do? Is that good?
it is good. Thank you. Um,
Welcome.
appreciate that. You and I will get into these teams a bit more here in a second, but you know, it's kind of like to your point what you were just saying. FunSpark wasn't so much loosey goosey. You had tier one teams that were a part of this. That as much as they tried things out in scrims and in practice, and I think even some of the analysts have said this over and over, trying different things to see how it works in official competitive, in official games rather. Like ones that count obviously in an actual event. Scrims you can do whatever in. I mean scrims you can sit there and just take a couple rounds and practice your nade placement and see how they work and see what the opposing team does. Like they don't count against you for a reason. So like big not perma-banning train anymore, that's new. That's something we take away with. We now know train is in their map pool. How often they're going to go to it, we don't know. But we know now that that's going to be part of their map pool. It's no longer a permaban. Is that going to be the case? We'll see.
And one other takeaway from that, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
No,
but
you're
is
fine.
that that now they can ban Inferno, which they struggle on. No, they don't have to take that with a team that might be really strong on Inferno.
I say we just get Mirage out of the map pool. I that's just a me personally thing. I am not a fan of Mirage at all. I'm not good at the map. Um, anyway, I I think for this tournament, we're gonna see teams do what's normal because everyone's gonna start ramping up for DreamHack Masters Spring. They're gonna start ramping up for Flashpoint. All right, so like I'm just gonna go over the teams right now. This tournament versus DreamHack next week or later this week.
Sounds good.
Okay, Fury are in this. They've been invited to stage two. G2, Big, Mouse Sports. I think are really the main ones. FaZe invited stage two. However, I this qualifier is lasting. Um, again, They have a lot on their plate. There's a lot of Counter-Strike tomorrow. Just for what it's worth, there is a lot of top-tier Counter-Strike tomorrow. Like, if you're up at 1 in the morning, Tyloo versus Wings Up is in Fun Spark. Okay, Spring Sweet Spring. You got Extra Salt playing in that. You got Copenhagen Flames playing in that. You got K23 playing in that. So keep this in mind. All right? K23 and Skade are already playing at 6 a.m. They have events at 10:45.
I have a theory about that.
Are they going to be worse? Are they going to be better? We will see.
My theory is that they're worse. That for whatever reason they tend to not play as well in the second match.
I mean,
Or
it's possible, but it's also one of these teams could end up playing later on Monday. They could be playing 3 official matches in one day.
a
Because
lot.
how this qualifier is going. All right, how this qualifier is going is the IEM Summer 2021 Closed Qualifier upper bracket quarterfinal 2 begins at 2 p.m. How crazy is that? So we're going to get 6 IEM Summer qualifier matches in one day. That's a lot of Counter-Strike. Dan, don't fall asleep on me.
Still here? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Don't fall asleep on me.
Not
So we have
breathing
6.
heavy?
I can hear you fine. We have 6 matches tomorrow. 2 of them we're not going to know. Obviously, they're not on Draftkings because we don't know who the teams are yet. This slate is a single elimination bracket. Whoever wins these games move on to the double elimination bracket. And Furia, I just had it. So it's going to be Furia, G2. Furia, G2, Big, and FaZe are the invited teams for Stage 2. So whatever one of these 4 teams win are going to go up in a double elimination style against one of those 4. Those 4 can go up against each other. They're not out yet, so the matches aren't determined. So that's going to happen after these matches are done tomorrow. Dan, with that being said, let's get into the slate. We'll talk more about these teams. First game on the slate is Movie Star Riders versus Ents. I've been saying this, and I know people get me to think on the talent levels the same way. Movie Star Riders. Smooya is the Zywoo or Simple of Tier 2. And let me explain what I mean by that. Smooya is an extremely talented opper. This is a guy who's had stints on, I think, Dan, you said, Big, and some other organizations, but for whatever reason, he's just never got traction on a mega team. A Team Vitality, a Navi, an Astralis, Ninjas in Pajamas, a Heroic, a Gambit, whatever. He hasn't got traction on one of these Tier 1 teams. He was rumored for the Cloud9 project last year when Henry G took that over, but he was never selected, so he found a home with Movie Star Riders. Let me just give you Smooya's stats against all opponents over the last 3 months. 85 maps played, Dan. Smooya is plus 443 kill to death differential with a 1.35 kill to death differential. I'm sorry, kill to death ratio and a 1.2 rating. The next highest player on the team is Mopaz at plus 149 with a 1.10 kill to death ratio. That's why I say he's the Zywoo / Simple. He is the anchor of the team. He is the ace of the team. He outclasses the rest of the team with all due respect to the rest of Team Vitality and Navi. These are just players that are just on another level. Again, I'm not saying Smooya has the talent level of Zywoo Simple. I'm saying if we're looking at Movie Star Riders, it's one player who's elite, and the rest are just okay to good. Maybe great if you want to throw Mopaz in there. Let me give you the stats for Movie Star Riders over the last 3 months versus top 30 teams. And we have some good data, Dan, to pull from. 26 maps played. Mopaz is plus 43 with a 1.09 kill to death ratio. Smooya is plus 49 with a 1.11 kill to death ratio. Mopaz has a higher rating of 1.13, Smooya 1.05. Alex, Shocks, and Steel, all negative kill to death differential and a sub 1 kill to death ratio. What do you like from Movie Star Riders, Dan, and what do you like from Ents?
Um, I'm not a big fan of the movie star writers tomorrow. I like Diha, Spinks, and even Snappy for 4,800 isn't too bad to me. I just don't think that the writers can beat Ents.
I don't
So,
think so either, but I think that's the biggest upset of the slate.
okay.
I think Movie Star Riders could upset Ents. However, I mean, let's face it, Ents should probably win this matchup. I'm not underestimating this team anymore. After what I saw them pull off against Virtus Pro and some of the other teams in Pro League, just I'm not underestimating them anymore. They're getting better. Fine. I think Smooya can pay off in a loss.
Oh, sure. For sure. I forget which maps but it looks like Train will be in the pool because Ents is kind of a
If Ents is on the
train hoe.
slate and the other team don't ban it, expect there to be, train.
And then and Overpass too, which is actually really good for Smooya. Both sides.
Let's take a look. So, Movie Star Riders permabans Dust 2. Ents looks like they don't like playing Mirage or Vertigo. So, and Movie Star Riders has played Mirage 12 times over the last 3 months. So I would expect Ents to most likely ban Mirage. Um, yeah. Here, Ents has played Train 16 times. Here's the interesting thing about Train. Movie Star Riders have played it 11 times. So I can see Train in play. I definitely think we see Overpass. Movie Star Riders have played it 21 times and have a 76% win rate. Ents has played it 5 times and have a 60% win rate. So it's not too bad. Inferno could be a Movie Star Riders could pick Inferno. Ents have played Inferno 8 times, have a 38% win rate. Movie Star Riders have played it 15 times and have a 73% win rate. So I definitely think we see Movie Star Riders. If I had to guess, I would agree with you. I think it's Overpass. I think we could see Inferno in there too. Um, both these teams like Nuke too. So I definitely think we see Inferno or Nuke as a decider. It doesn't affect who I'm building around. I still think Samuya is good in a one-off. If you're stacking Ents or you're playing Ents, and that's the other thing we got to talk about, Dan. We have to talk about strategy for 4 game slates. You're not playing three
Yes.
three. You're not playing 3-3 stacks. That in a 4 game slate, 3-3 is most likely not going to be optimal. Almost ever. I mean, there'll be times where games just crush. Fine. It's a 4 gamer. 3-2-1 if you want, but we're probably looking at 2-2-2 or 2-2-1-1. Like I said, if you want to go 3-2-1, I'm fine with that. If you want to go 3-1-1-1, I'm okay with that. Because, I mean, let's face it, Dan, the next game on this slate is Trident versus OG, and, yeah, that's going to be a blowout. Um, so let's finish up Movie Star Riders and Ents. Do you have any interest in Samuya or Mopaz, or anyone else from Movie Star Riders at all?
I mean, yeah, for certainly for GPP, but not for single entry.
Okay.
I
So you're,
I can't see it.
so you're going to
I
go more
can't
the
see.
safety, even though D has 9,400.
I like D Hall a lot tomorrow, even at
Okay.
9,400.
Let's play a name game. D or Valde.
D Ha.
Over Valde.
And well, for one thing, he's cheaper than Valde, and
He's
um, so
$400 cheaper than Valde.
so I'm just gonna give I know we're not doing the bold prediction anymore, but I'm gonna do a slightly bold prediction that Trident beats OG.
Dan, if this is Fun Spark all over again, I will see you all for Flashpoint, and I'm taking a couple weeks off.
Well, hold on. That does not mean that I'm going to play Trident or stay away from OG. It means that I think that they have a chance.
Trident
You
don't
know,
have a chance.
what?
Trident do not have a chance.
Well, and come on, don't say. You know that anyone has a chance at.
Don't start with Fun Spark. I don't want to hear the fours stuff. That's what I said about fours. And fours ended up going to the semifinal. I don't want to hear it.
Fucking fours, man. They screwed me so
Don't
hard.
go there.
Both times they won, I didn't play them. And then I'm like, oh, they must be good. I'm going to play them. And of course, they lose both times.
Know when to jump on and when to jump off. Anything else from Movie Star Riders and Ents?
I have seen Alex pop off. So I don't. What's his price?
I mean, Alex is minus 13 with a .97 kill to death ratio versus top 30 teams. He's okay.
Yeah, okay, but it's not worth
No,
6,400. I don't think.
those would be the players I would stick with in Movie Star Riders for MME, especially
Yeah.
in large field GPP. All right, let's do it.
Oh, I got though.
All right, let's do it. Let's go in the second game on the slate. Trident versus OG. This game is going to take all of 2 minutes to talk about. All 5 OG are in play. Capturing all 5 of them are perfectly viable. If anyone on OG is less than 30%, I will be shocked. They are the chalk of the slate. They're going to be the uber chalk of the slate. They're going to be how you build around the slate. This is the easiest matchup of the slate because Ensign Movie Star Riders and should win. Skate FPX, that could go either way. Mel's in K23, Mel should win. This is the one we can say definitively is OG is going to win. Trident, congratulations on making it to this qualifier. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
You have a chance.
Here are the stats for Trident versus top 50 teams because they haven't played top 30 teams. Everyone has a negative kill to death differential
Okay.
on Trident versus top 30 teams. The only one who is close to even is Clax at -5. Tricky -17, Glowing -27, Norway's -26, and I'm not playing the other one. No, it's
Are you
way too
showing your
low.
screen? Are you showing
I
stats? Or
I I have it on a separate document.
okay.
So with that being said, Dan, you still interested in playing Trident?
I mean, not again. Like this is my bold,
It's a
pretty
bold
bold.
prediction.
Yeah. And there's a
OG,
narrative that
o,
says that.
OG a -890 favorite, according to
Holy
Pinnacle.
shit.
The next highest favorite on this slate is Mel Sports at -228 against K23. Oh, I should mention, Ents is a -149 favorite against Movie Star Riders. Skade is a -137 favorite against Fun Plus Phoenix. We're going to talk about that game. That could be a key to the slate.
I think it is.
OG should win this game 9 out of 10 times.
Maybe 19 out of 20.
If tomorrow is the one instance where it's the 1 out of 10 times and try to upset OG, mice will be breaking, laptops will be being broken, monitors are being broken, keyboards being smashed against desks and walls, people tilting because Trident upset OG. I'm totally kidding, but that's the level of frustration. Let me make this in a large field GPP. We have a GPP that has $10,000 to first place. If you are max entering this, okay, and I think the max entry is 150. The max is 88. If you're playing all 88 lineups, and you want to get 5 to 15% exposure on Trident, and try to end up winning and being optimal, I'm okay with that. And a 1, a 3, or a 20 max, I don't even know if I do it in a 20 max. I'm not playing Trident. There are different ways to get creative on this slate. You could captain Nico. You could captain Alexi B. No one's going to want to captain Alexi B. You can captain whoever else you want. Get creative with your OG stacks. This is not FunSpark. This is a qualifier. OG want to qualify for IEM. They have something to prove with this new team. I don't care that Flame is going to be on 2 million ping. This team is good. Flames, by himself, changes the dynamic of this team. It changes them from being a passive defensive team that gives teams fits to incorporating Nico and now Flames to being a balanced to somewhat aggressive, fast-moving team. And we saw Flames' aggressiveness. He changed the dynamic of the roster. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. That was the missing piece.
Flames was the missing piece, or someone with his play style for sure.
Yep.
Alexi B, the IGL for OG, is someone I am considering captaining to get different. He's $6,000 in the flex. I understand. This should be an absolute sweep. If Alexi B goes off, you need him. And you have to get different with your OG stacks, or get different in your other players. Because again, 4-game slate, ownership should be spread out. Should be. But people are going to focus around OG, and if I had to guess, they're going to focus around mouse sports, which I think might be a mistake. Dan, is there anything else you want to talk about with this game that was longer than 2 minutes?
Oh, but I just really hope that people stay away from Nico.
That'd be nice. There are definitely some nice combos you can do. Valde being 9,800 and the most expensive on the slate, that's tough to get to on the slate. It really is. Anyway, anything else?
I'm done. Thanks.
All right. Let's get in, Dan. Let's get into what I think is going to be the key to the slate. Skade versus FPX. Talk to us about Skade. This is a team I had to do research on today because I typically don't play Tier 2 DFS for Counter-Strike, so I'm not familiar with Trident or Skade. I know K23. I know of Movie Star Riders. Talk to us about Skade. This is a team that have fantastic stats. This is a team that is on a massive upswing. This is a team that could be a Heroic or Gambit-like looking run from 2020.
Yeah, that's a good way to frame it. They haven't lost a match in like 17 matches either. And they're playing a ton of Counter-Strike, including beating Movie Star Riders in a best of one. They're still they're not tier 1 for sure. But they're taking down some pretty good teams. Havu, when Havu was still kind of building, and then it's okay. So DBL Pony, Onyx, whoever that is, Fiend. It's got some random teams in here, but they're still on a roll. And that they got that hot team. I would actually compare them more to Extra Salt than whoever you said. I'm definitely not. Okay, so I'm. They're not. They're not up there for sure. And
well, that's not what I mean. Like when you think of what Heroic did last year, and all the Tier 1 teams were on their July player break, and we were playing a lot of Tier 2 Counter-Strike, getting used to some of these teams, just hanging out, just watching some of them, and watching Heroic rise from Tier 2 to Tier 1, and just looking absolutely dominant once they brought in Nico and Tessus. Getting to the grand final of DreamHack Open, or whatever the first DreamHack event was in August, coming in second, and then going on to ESL 1 Cologne and putting their stamp on the Tier 1 Counter-Strike world and winning one of the most prestigious events of the Counter-Strike calendar in ESL 1 Cologne. That's what I mean by Skade being on that kind of upswing. They've made their noise in the lower tier. Now it's time for them to stake their claim against higher-end opponents.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
I think they could make a serious. Well, I guess it's not necessarily a run right now, but they're gonna win. I would think.
Well,
sure.
You said they've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike over the last 3 months.
Week over the last.
They
week.
have played. Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? Are you ready?
I
They've
don't know the
played
exact number.
114 maps over the last 3 months.
Wow.
They've played that much Counter-Strike.
I mean, not so the average what is like 40 or so matches somewhere in that
That's
region.
official matches. That's not practice. That's
It's
not
almost one a
scrims.
day,
That's official matches. That's in,
and they're winning like
they
constantly.
are winning. There was a lot of green here. The last loss they had was April 15th in the Elisa Invitational Spring 2021 against Nordavind. So they've won
Irving's no joke.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You're right. 17 matches in a row. This is a lot of Counter Strike. This is a lot of Counter Strike.
This is the team to target for sure, in my opinion.
I agree. All right,
Um,
so let's talk about it.
okay,
Here's the pricing. Ships is 9,600. Dennis Slaw the opera
love
for
it.
Dennis Slaw the opera for Skate is 8,400. Rainwaker is 7,200. Oxygen 6,200 and Duplicate 5,000. For FPX, Farley is 8,600. I love that price for him on the slate. Madden
Yeah.
7,200. Zen too cheap 6,400. Steeko 5,600. Emmy, the new IGL for FPX, the permanent fifth member of this team. If you were a member of the Godsent days, Emmy was on that roster. He replaced Crystal. So Emmy's back. IGLing for FPX. Madden sticks out at 7,200 as someone to target. Zen sticks out at 6,400 as someone to target. Steeko sub 6,000 at 5,600 as someone to target. Skater the favorite. Okay, Skater a favorite over a tier 1 team, I think should say everything we need to know.
Now remind me, didn't FPX make a run in a tournament with Emmy?
I think so. I also
And
think that was when the Godsend roster kind of sort of had nothing to lose. Um, but yeah, no, Emmy helped them massively. It changed the dynamic of how those other four played. So we're going to see a very different looking FPX team than we did in ESL Pro League. We're going to, see a very different FPX looking team. If you want to buy into that narrative and you think that FPX beat Skade, which, Dan, I mean, let's face it, it's definitely possible. Probably probable. Again, Tier 1 facing more Tier 1 teams than Skade. I think Skade win. If you want to go back to a bold prediction segment, I think Skade win 2-0. And I think Skade have a statement game.
so I'm just so this particular team beat Heroic with Borup and Nico. You know, obviously disclaimer, but this particular team is not
Oh,
bad.
oh, when was that? Katowice?
DreamHack Masters Winter. They
Oh, right.
made
That
a
was back at the end of last year. Heroic were floundering then, but still were a better team. But yes,
right, of course, of course.
I mean, if you filter Emmy back into the equation, back when they were the Godsent roster, Emmy changed the dynamic of that team. They played much better, much better. Um, so with that being said, Dan, talk to us about Skate and FPX. How are you approaching this on this slate, especially for single entry?
I just lost all my confidence in Skate. Oh my god.
That bad, huh?
Just just oh my dude, they beat Astralis, they beat they took a map off Mouse Sports when Mouse Sports was going crazy. They beat North and then and Heroic. Oh shit.
Again,
Now I'm
take Heroic with a grain of salt. They were not looking the best at the end of last year.
I know, that's a good point.
But no, beating Astralis, that's a statement.
Yeah. The fact that if Skate are the favorites, like this is almost a no-brainer where I have to go with the underdog. Where it's like DFS strategy has to come into play for this one.
Agreed. But don't take so much stock in how's the best way to say this, what I feel like insulting the main strategy of this. You don't have to go underdog crazy like on a 2-game slate.
Yeah.
This is a 4-gamer. There are going to be multiple unique-looking lineups because we have 40 players to choose from.
Good point. Very good point.
Okay, we have 40 players to choose from, and you're already going to X out some of them because you're not playing run backs. You're going to have teams to play run backs. You may play a run back on this slate. I was looking at a lineup with Dan pre-show. I was looking at one Ents, one movie star rider. I mean, it's you can get very unique and creative. Don't focus so much on the underdog. Obviously, if an underdog wins, that's great, but an underdog on a 2-game slate at 5 to 15% ownership is going to help you win a GPP. On a 4-game slate, if those underdogs do not score well, and some of the favorites outscore them, you're not winning. You have to keep that in mind. It's a 4-gamer. The dynamics are different. There are 40 players. Dan and I are about to argue over ships. I'm not playing ships.
I'm not either. Not anymore. Not after that. What I just experienced. I was gung ho.
So let me explain some stats. And again, this is where I did a little something something. The teams, and Dan, you made mention of it. Here are the teams. So I took stats from this Skade team versus top 30 opponents. Not top 50, top 30. They have played Win Strike and beat them. Mouse Sports lost. Made one competitive. Mirage was competitive for them. They lost 19 to 17 and then lost 16 to 6 on Nuke. They beat Ents. They beat Havu. They beat Endpoint. Here are the stats for Skade over the last 3 months, and that was over the last 3 months, Dan. So here's their actual team stats again, online over the last 3 months versus top 30 teams. Denny Slaw the Opper is plus 58 over 10 maps played, with a 1.33 kill to death ratio. He's a phenomenal one-off on the slate. Ships is plus 4 with a 1.02 kill to death ratio. Rain Waker, not to be confused with Kazuchika Okada the Rainmaker, is plus 13 with a 1.07 kill to death ratio. Duplicate and Oxygen are interesting. So Duplicate's minus 10, Oxygen minus 11. I still think they're viable if you're mass multi-entering. I really want to know what this FPX team is going to look like. Reincorporating Emmy, which means they have to go back to old strats. Maybe teams don't want to go back to doing that. I'm playing Skade. If you're MMEing, you want a good amount of variation on this game. My opinion. For large field GPPs. Because you want to mix up your Skade exposure, you want to mix up your FPX exposure. For example, if I'm playing FPX, and I'm not, I'm playing Skade. If I'm playing FPX, Madden sticks out. Farley at 8,600 is fantastic, going to be way under-owned. Because he's in the range of Smooya, Denny Slaw, Rops, Frozen. He's in that range. Farley's going to be unowned. At least I'd like to think he's going to be unowned. Zen is 6,400. Stiko, we've seen Stiko go off. He's 5,600. If you want to play Emmy, who isn't terrible, it's 4,400. Get exposure to this entire game in your MMEs. Get creative. I'm just saying, if you play one lineup in a single entry, if I was playing single entry, I'm taking Skade. Because it's my lineup versus one Shark lineup or one other person's lineup. I'm not facing 88 other lineups. Or 20 lineups. I'm playing against 1 versus 1. And in MME, get creative however you want. Anything else from this game? Because I really like Denny Slaw.
None.
I really like Denny. I think Denny Slaw 1, Rainwaker 2, Ships 3.
Yeah, you have to play those 3. I mean, those are the 3 that... well, Oxygen can...
I'll say Oxygen 4, Duplicate 5.
Yeah, Duplicate can be really bad. Like, really bad.
Oh.
Like Rush bad.
Coming from the guy who wanted to play Rush on a couple of slates.
No, I've only ever said that Rush is good. I just... like a good Counter-Strike player for what he does.
He's a good Counter-Strike player. Pardon me. He's terrible for DFS.
Thank you.
I will be nice. Dan.
8,800.
Dan.
Adam.
Last game on the slate. Let's get
Last
through
game,
it.
let's do it.
Let's get through
Sunday
it.
night, we gotta go to bed.
Mouse Sports versus K23. It's nice to talk about a 4-gamer, isn't it, for a change?
It's so nice, but
I mean,
it's almost like a
obviously,
3-gamer.
and as we told the fans, all right, like we're aiming for 20 to 30 minutes. We have a qualifier. We're talking about the qualifier versus the last event, and we have a 4-game slate. There's a lot to break down. Before we get into Mouse Sports versus K23, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks. If you want to try out Prize Picks, they are offering our listeners a fantastic promo right now. You sign up as a new depositor on Prize Picks using the promo code CLUTCH, CLUTCH. Using the promo code CLUTCH, Prize Picks is giving our listeners a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Basically, you want to deposit $50, they match your 50. You deposit $100, they match your 100. You want to deposit $1,000, they say thank you, and they're only matching you $100. Yeah, so big shout out to Prize Picks. Use that promo code CLUTCH. And then reach out to Dan and I on Twitter, at AdamWX21 and at Juan Delch, WANDELCH. Let us know you signed up. Let us know what you think of the product. We have our Prize Pick segment coming up here in a little bit, but first, Mouse Sports versus K23. Dan! Rops is
I mean,
9,200.
play
Frozen.
him.
Rops at 9,200. Frozen 8,200. A-Core
Play him.
7,600. B-Mass
Play him.
B-Mass 6,800.
Maybe play him.
Listen, shout out to Ty Star. B-Mass is on the slate. Calling
Ty.
Ty! You want to play Counter-Strike tomorrow? Ty's a good friend of ours. B-Mass is on the slate. He's a big B-Mass fan. So anytime I see B-Mass on the slate, I think of Ty. And then Dexter. I'm going to come out and say this right now. I think Dexter's on the hot seat. If this Mouse Sports roster can't make any kind of noise, especially in DreamHack. I think Dexter's on the hot seat.
I do too, and now I'm worried. Because that's such an important role.
Think about it. Rops, Frozen, A-Core, B-Mass. Stud 4, Dexter, who was a high-fragging IGL for Renegades, as you told us before.
Yeah, that's true.
Is having a little bit of a tough time transitioning to this Tier 1 European scene. At least from the eye test and from the strategy calling. My opinion.
That's like exactly right. I mean, I wonder if he is actually in Europe. Like,
I would assume so. If you want to play European Counter-Strike right now, you have to be somewhere in Europe. But anyway.
So they just beat X-Winstrike. Well, not just, but a couple of weeks ago.
And we know X-Winstrike and Elan is no joke.
Right.
But let's talk about K23, because Mouse Sports, we all kind of know who we're playing. We're playing everyone except for Dexter, and even in MMEs, play Dexter. Okay, Mouse Sports research done. K23. They are the old OG, prior to the additions of Nico and Flames. They're the OG of Tier 2. I'll tell you why. In the K20, some of the K23 games that I've seen, they are a balanced lineup with a balanced gameplay to a little bit defensive. They are enough that give teams fits. They're not aggressive like Furia. They are a smart team. They try making the other teams to get mistakes, in my opinion. And I think K23 are a team, again, they're not nowhere near as good as Mouse. But they are a team that could give Mouse fits. They could bring this 3 maps.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
K23 are not a pushover. All right, so
no.
like, my favorite 3 players from K23, Fame 1, Norbert 3, Mo 3. You know, I could even make an argument Norbert number 1, Fame 2, Mo 3.
Most good.
Neelan ain't half bad. I mean, he's not good, but he's not bad.
He comes through sometimes.
Better Counter-Strike player than DFS player. Or DFS play. And I see a Dren. A Dren, 31 years old. Still hanging out on the upper end Counter-Strike scene.
I don't know how he does it, but yeah, you're right. You
Look,
look like an old
Adren's
man.
good. Adren is a legend. Um,
Got a lot of. What does he got? A master?
huh?
Do you have a master?
Who's a master?
Does he have?
A major.
Uh, I'm sorry. Yeah, not
I
the
don't know if he
master.
has a master's degree. Go hit Adren up on Twitter and ask if he has a master's degree.
Oh shit, man! No, remember that happened during the Masters week, and I said did the same thing.
I
So
have
third
no
in,
idea. You're the same one that calls Zywu Zywi.
so he got third in DreamHack Masters. He got second CS Summit, first in DreamHack Open Austin, MVP.
He was on Virtus Pro, wasn't he?
Gambit, yeah.
I think Adren
Uh,
is a support player, if I'm not mistaken.
I would think he'd be the IGL, right? Or
Maybe.
no?
I mean, again, Adren's been around for a while.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's a legend.
31. Oh
He's
shit.
Adren is a legend. So with that being said, like I said, I'd mix up the top three K23 guys, and then mix in some Neelan and Adren in MMEs. K23 can absolutely knock off Mount Sports.
Definitely, especially where what they're facing. Oh,
100%.
man.
All right, and I'm also
God
gonna
damn it,
like.
Adam.
We need to let
Did you
everyone know
do
too. These games are all best of three. They are not a best of one. They are a best of three. Just to clarify. So, Dan, anything else you want to talk about in this game, or should we get into our next segment?
You just ruined everything for me.
Sorry. How did I
So
ruin everything for you? You were all excited to play Mouse Sports?
I was, but now I'm worried.
Don't
But I
be worried. Mouse Sports still win.
still think Rops. I mean, well, I know Rops does really well in losses anyway.
Oh,
So
I'm playing Rops.
yeah, Rops, you got.
That's. I mean, it's a matter of what are you doing with Frozen at 8200 if you're playing a ton of OG Skate and Ents guys, or even Movie
I
Star
got.
Riders or FPX, or even Trident. What are you doing with Frozen? Frozen is a guy who disappears, is okay, or breaks the slate. I think Rops and Frozen is going to be a popular combo. I think
Mm,
Rops is going to be a popular runoff. I'm eating the chalk. A-Core
mm.
is an interesting play at 7600. B-Mass I like at 6800. I don't think B-Mass goes nuts, but if he does, you're going to need him. And I know that's hashtag analysis, but still.
Yeah, we're due for a BMS here because I mean, if anybody doesn't know, Bemis is like came up through FPL, which Rops also did, and Bemis is very very good. He just hasn't been put in a position where he can really go crazy individually because he's dealing with Rops and Frozen and now Acor.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Just saying, just saying.
Pardon me. I apologize. I got distracted by
That's
Discord
okay.
chat. Anyway.
You weren't listening to me when my little analysis of BMS.
And you are?
You.
I'm totally kidding. All right, Dan, let's get into it. We've kept the people here long enough. Let's do this. Core, value, GPP, team stack. One of each. Go.
Core. Rops.
I was
Value.
hoping you were going to say Dia after the way you pumped him up earlier.
Oh, I could though, and maybe it's just recent. We were just talking about Rops, and
No,
that's what I picked up.
Rops is a fantastic play on the slate and one of the best plays on the slate.
Well, thank you, Adam. I
You
appreciate that.
you are welcome.
So value is Nico and GPP. I'm gonna go with pretty much stealing yours now, and that's
Dia,
no Farlig.
I like
I
it.
thought that yeah, because we were talking about how underowned he would be,
Oh, he's
and
gonna be.
his price.
I mean, just like look at and for those of you that aren't like you just listening on YouTube, let me just tell you the guys around Farley. Flames is 9,000. Smooya is 8,800. Farley's 8,600. Denny Slar's 8,400. Frozen's 8,200. And Rops is 9,200. And Diha's 9,400.
Yeah,
Who do you
he's
think is coming in the lowest owned of that group?
Yeah, 100% Farley.
He's fun. If he, it's not going to surprise me if he is sub 10% tomorrow. But
Maybe even less.
and I
Yeah,
mean, still, it's 4 games and there's almost a
so many.
3,000 person field, but still. All right, favorite team stack.
Favorite team stack I'm going with.
The obvious. Go with the obvious. Come on, you know you want to.
Oh, I'm not. I'm actually not. I'm going with Ents, man.
I like it.
Uh, I
So I
just think
assume you're
that
interested in that Diha, Spinks, and Alu stack. Maybe even a little Snappy and Dodo.
no Alu. Well, maybe Alu, but for oh god, maybe we'll see. I'm still thinking about it. I think I need to get up early and reevaluate after I slept on it. But
Lock time 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Dan, my core play on this slate is also Rops. I mean, it's kind of obvious. I can tell you another core. As much as I want to say Valdez a core play at 9,800, he's too expensive to do any kind of you want a lot of power lineup construction. So I will give you someone else instead of Rops, just so the listeners have something else. Um, Denny Slaw is a core play for me on the slate. I'm not getting
nice.
cute. I mean, if FPX take it 3 and FPX end up winning, I mean, the chances that Denny Slaw have are already, plus 10 are very much there. Again, this is a kid that thrives against top 30 talent. I think what was it, plus 54, right? Plus 58 versus top 30 teams. Yeah, Denny Slaw is a core play for me on the slate. GPP play is going to be Valde. If you can get there at 9,800, get there. He is the best play from OG outside of he's the best better play over Flames. I think, and because of what you said with the ping, I think tips it for me as even more confidence in Valde. Value
Okay,
play on this slate, Alexi B at 6,000. And then let's get
that's a good
into
one.
my favorite team stack is OG. Shocker. All right, let's get into it. Prize pick segment, folks. Very, very excited to take a look at some Counter Strike content. Again, we have
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of stuff here on the slate. I'm gonna give you two. Dan, you can give two as well. I'm gonna start off here with Fang against the Lyngby Vikings. 37.5 is the fantasy score. I'm going over. Dan, give me a player and tell us over or under.
I'm gonna go Sixer over.
Over 33.5. I like that call. All right, my next play is going to be Alex. This is kind of a smash play. Alexi
Oh,
B 31.5. Smash the over.
I have that one too.
Yes, you can have that one too. Smash the over. Dan, give us another one.
Jerry over.
Here we go.
Dude,
Sorry, folks.
did you see him today?
I don't want to talk about it. I had a lot of NASCAR prep to do today, but apparently it was Jerry Day, and I'm so happy I only played $1 in the showdown. Um,
Uh,
so
I
again,
didn't.
like I said, you can see. So Skade's going up against fours first. All right, so this is prior to their matchup with FPX. So there is a lot of Counter Strike to play, a lot. So you're going Jerry over 32.5 versus Skade.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
nice. Alrighty, folks. That's going to do it here for the CSGO Clutch podcast. Again, use that promo code CLUTCH for new depositors. Get 100% match up to $100 of your deposit. And Dan, any final thoughts on the slate?
Uh, Good luck. This is a good one.
I'm looking forward to the slate. Thank you for talking me into doing the podcast and playing the slate. Alrighty.
Welcome.
For Dan, I'm Adam. Good luck. Latest, peoples.